is where the depth of your research plays out. It shows out, right? Then you come to your verification. When you do the verification, well, there are a number of different errors that can happen at the verification stage as well, right? Now, one kind of error is, yeah, you don't, you put in the wrong number by mistake. The other kind of error that you might have when you're verifying is the number might, you might have got multiple OTPs, you might have entered the wrong OTP, right? So what I would like for you to do is, I want you to kind of think about what are all the possible errors that can happen on this field, okay? And list them out systematically, okay? And then you kind of think through how that system plays out. So there are two ways that you handle an error. When you identify an error, you do two things for it, okay? The first problem you think is, how do I avoid the error in the first place? Okay, you need to think through that. The second thing is, once an error happens, how do I help the user diagnose and recover from that error?
Correct.
Okay, so then the third step is, well, if the error is fatal, okay, nothing is possible, then what are the next steps? How do I support the person? If you cannot recover from the error, how do I manage the situation?
Right.
Okay. All three of those have to be implemented on your design. Okay. So let's take the sample case of the OTP. Okay. How would you implement all these three use cases on your design? Okay. So I am going to put the wrong, I entered it. I'm not able to tell which device I got the OTP at.
Right.
Okay. The way you would handle it is, OTP has been sent to this telephone number. Okay. With those stars, like what Mukesh has shared, it's like, 934 star 82, right? So this is the telephone number that's been sent to.
Yes.
Okay. That's one message. So you have a hint on what number to check. Okay. Now, let us say you're still not able to find it. Okay. Then you might say, well, is there any other alternative method? How do you recognize and diagnose from it, right? So you say, okay, I do not have the device. You want to help the person recognize, I do not have access to this device. Okay. If I do not have access to this device, then what is the alternative there? Well, you can check by email. So I'm going to send an OTP to your email. Jasmine is saying the mail ID is not allowed. So let's say, for argument's sake, mail ID is not allowed. Okay. So what do you do in that use case to recover from that error? So what you might do might be that, well, if you do not have access to that telephone number, you changed your telephone number, right? Maybe you give them instructions on how to get the new telephone number onto your Aadhaar information.
Right.
Right. You can basically give them a list of all the service centers where you can walk in, get your Aadhaar data updated, right? Give them a link to update their Aadhaar, just exactly like Simran was talking about. Or you might say, well, come into our branch, we will authenticate you for it. Okay. So there are a number of other steps that you can give, like, okay, yeah. So the point is, never put a full stop at any place, because that's exactly what a human being would do when they're sitting next to you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I should be giving, because that is what is human connection again.
Exactly. And you could have, you may not have the perfect human connection, but you can replicate some parts of it in this
some
experience.
part of it, in a way that we are giving some solution to the user when the user is stuck and nowhere to go.
Correct. Now, again, Simran, instead of visiting the branch, they can jump to a video KYC. Now, if that is possible, that would be amazing, because now you're just doing a direct video KYC and you're authenticating. Okay. But if that is not possible, then you probably will have to go to a bank, and the bank will have to authenticate and update your telephone number. Right? And you have to show some other form of identification. Okay. So again, the point is, because it's such a secure system, you need to be able to think through all those use cases. So that is where I would say, when you are thinking about all your error cases, spend some time reflecting, thinking about all the error cases, because that is the key thing that is going to tell me, well, Jasmine thought about this and she did a very comprehensive job on it.